Heard that about her. So we're just gonna do this as like an informal Q&A, if that's okay with you guys, because it's just the two of us and we're all friends.
And we're ready to hang out and answer some questions.
So, yeah. Oh, I see a black gloved hand.
Dun, dun, dun.
Go for it. You're gonna probably have to run a mic over to him. Sorry, ladies, you're gonna be
running around.
You're not gonna need to go to the gym
Take
for the
those
next 2
shoes
weeks.
off.
Yo, Symmetra. Who is more on the spectrum? You or Hunzos that won't switch?
Well, I'll be honest with you. As the voice actor, I can't really speak to the specific lore about the game and everything like that. I know that, as you've seen on the social media and the interwebs, Jeff Kaplan did confirm that Symmetra was on the spectrum, but that's pretty much where he's left it, so that you can leave it all to your imaginations.
Let's just...
You're waving, this guy. Glasses, yes. I see you, right over here. Oh my goodness, look at her bun. Jesus, I'm so sorry. Oh god.
Sure, and tell him after this.
Okay, hey.
Hi.
It's an honor.
Can you say that again? I don't know who's speaking.
Who's the mic's on?
It's at capacity, y'all.
Wait.
It's at capacity.
Jessica.
Yeah.
Jessica, your mic's on.
There's no more seats.
Jessica.
I still really think someone else has their mic on. Go ahead, my dear, go ahead.
Okay, so doing our lines and the attacks and all sorts of the screams and whatnot, does that take a big toll on your voice lines, or voice boxes rather?
The question was, does doing sessions and doing the voice lines and working like this take a big toll on your vocal cords, on your vocal instrument, as it were? It can, and part of what we have to do as actors is know our limitations and know what we need to do for good vocal hygiene, obviously. The folks at Blizzard are very, very, very understanding and careful to make sure that all of us are taken care of during our sessions. And so if we do have to scream or do death throws or anything like that, they make sure to limit it as much as possible so that we don't ruin our
They usually
instruments.
do it at the end of the session, so we just do 15 minutes of that crazy stuff, and then the next session we might work on some other ones.
Also, I find, and I don't know if you find the same thing, but I find when I'm using my voice to perform, whether it's in the vocal booth or on stage or anywhere else, I am less likely to damage it than like when I'm out in the world and talking to people or at a game
At a
or
bar.
something, or at a bar or whatever, because I'm
We
not
don't go to
thinking about
bars.
it.
Sorry, I didn't say
Bar?
that.
What's a bar? What is this alcohol you speak of? So that's more likely where we are likely to do something wrong to our voice because we're not thinking about using it correctly. Yeah?
So I think this is going to be really hard for you to run around when we choose somebody. How about as we're answering a question, you might go to the next person so the mic is there, and that way she won't run around like a headless chicken, and we'll just be a little more productive. Cool. So we got a mic over there. Thank you, Jessica. And they'll keep an eye out for you guys, and they'll run the mics to you if that's cool.
Hello, that's good. Hi, I had a question about in regards to recording your lines. When you have like new content come out for Overwatch, usually they'll probably go back to the voice actors or the voice actresses to record some new lines, you know, for like events and whatnot. In regards to that, do they call you back to the studio, or do you just do your lines from home?
If I did that from home, it would sound terrible because I don't have the proper equipment. So yeah, and I think Blizzard just wants to make sure everything's super consistent. So I record from New York, so I always go to the same studio there in Manhattan. But I know sometimes they record in London and in LA.
They always record in a professional studio, that is for sure. So far, I live in LA, so far I've recorded in LA and then down at Blizzard headquarters, and like she says, she records in New York. And every time we do a session, we also have our voice director, Andrea Toyas is there, usually Michael Chu, who's the story, supervisor and head of all things good about the story. That's his technical name, the head of all things good about the story. Good thinking.
Oh, we have a guy who also directs us on like every time we're gonna die, whether it be by fire or falling from a cliff or a spike. He kind of explains what the guttural or throat sounds are, and that's really fun.
And that's part of the consistency, is having the whole team there. It's just like doing a TV shoot or something like that. They want to keep it as fresh and yet as consistent as possible. So there's always a group of people there. and it's always lots of fun.
Totally. Where's the mic? We got it over there.
Hey, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, and now I can see you.
Perfect. So thanks Sombra and Symmetra for coming out.
Welcome. We're so happy to be here. First anime Matsuri, right? For both of us.
Yeah, welcome to Houston.
Thank you.
Yeah, my BattleNet is Houston, Texas.
I could tell you mine, but then I'd have to kill you because I'm really bad at the game.
Well, speaking of that, my question is, how much do y'all actually play the game? Like, how many games per day, or how many hours, or whatever? She's hiding.
My client has chosen to invoke the Fifth Amendment on the grounds that
No
information
comment.
might incriminate her. I have played the game, sometime. I got a PS4. No. I play the game sometimes. I'm so bad at it that every time I do it, I usually end up in like fits of giggling. And I'm really glad that no one knows it's me on the other end of that, because it would just be horribly embarrassing to think that the actual voice of Symmetra can't play Symmetra without falling off of buildings and dying, or actually hitting things. Although I did sucker punch Roadhog once, and I was I had no idea how I did it, and I felt like it was the greatest achievement of my life. My bar is low.
She's way better than I am. I played Sombra at BlizzCon when they unveiled her, and I think I hit a wall like 27 times, and that was the extent of that.
In fairness, I grew up playing Dungeons and Dragons campaign, like straight up. Right? So I grew up doing that, and then playing RPGs on the PC. And so when the console stuff happened, I was used to an Atari. This was not a thing that I was adept enough to handle. So someday I'm gonna figure out the console.
I grew up climbing trees in Colombia, so the extent of my gaming.
We still love
Next
you.
question. Where's the mic?
Alright, so before you guys actually became like voice actors for Overwatch, did you know any of the other voice actors?
First of all, I see a disembodied voice. Wave your hand, where are you? Oh, there you are, hi Mama. Did I know any of the, I don't think I knew anyone in the game at that point. I know
Well, everything was secretive, and we weren't supposed to talk about it, and so, I don't know your experience, but I didn't know who the heck anybody was till we met at BlizzCon.
I was the same way. I know some of the voice actors knew each other from the voice acting world, but we all had, not just at BlizzCon, but then the day after BlizzCon, we had this kind of wrap party at Blizzard headquarters where we all got a tour of Blizzard and got to meet all the people who worked on the game, and it was really amazing. And that was also when we probably had the largest concentration of voice actors.
It was like
and voice
16
actors.
of the 22
at
at the time. Now there's 24 or something.
Yeah, now there's
3, 4? I don't know. Can't keep count.
I can't count. But yeah, so now we're just a big happy family though, and that's not, I don't feel like that's an exaggeration. Everybody who works on the game is so sweet, and we have loads of fun trying to track down as many people as we can and hang with them.
And Michael Chu said that it's been a very particular experience how the Overwatch family has really become a family. Like it doesn't happen on all games, but for some reason we all get along really, really well, all the voice actors for Overwatch, which is super fun, just because we had a good time at the rep party.
Yeah.
Next. Where's the mic?
Hi. I have a question. There's this fine gentleman named Terry Crews. And can you tell us anything about that? And if you've met him?
I can tell you that Terry Crews is indeed a fine gentleman. My favorite story about me and Terry Crews, which isn't really a story about me and Terry Crews so much as me loving Terry Crews, is that he was the voice of my Waze app for a while there. So he used to give me directions while I was driving through Los Angeles. That's about all I can tell you about Terry Crews, is that I know he's badass, and I would love to work with him on anything someday because he's hilarious, he's tremendous, he's talented, he's awesome.
And that's that.
Did you ever watch the Old Spice commercial?
Microphone. Oh, all good. Just take it to somebody who has a hand up. Oh, she's doing a marathon, guys.
Justin?
Oh, hi! Sorry, I feel like watching her run a marathon.
One of the things that one of the things that drew me to Overwatch in the beginning is its diversity and inclusiveness. One of the other things I also love about it is the richness of the world. If they were to offer you a chance to participate in like an animated series that would expand on the franchise, would you be interested in something like that?
Yes.
Duh.
Would you guys want to see something like that? So I
took video of that moment and posted it because we did that.
Tag Michael True, tag Kaplan, tag Andrea
Of
Twist.
course we would love that.
Big Daddy Jeff?
I'm sorry, were you finished? I just totally cut you off.
I've asked my question, but I want to hear your answer.
Of course, anything. I mean, at this point, again, like we said, the Overwatch family is so tight, and the family doesn't just include the voice actors and the creators, it includes the community. Because the community around this game is... I've never experienced anything like that in my life, and I've been around doing acting in all sorts of ways, TV, Broadway, whatever, but this is the place where I have seen the most inclusive community. And it means a lot that it's such an inclusive game. It means so much to be a part of something where there's so much diversity. Race, sex, sexual orientation, size, shape. There's a space monkey. You know, like there's everybody. I say this all the time. What I love about the game is that there is a hero for everybody to identify with. And so it feels like it helps all of us kind of identify the hero in ourselves, which is a really, really awesome inspirational thing to
I'm just gonna let Anjali talk the whole time. Yeah. No, because it's all brilliant.
But yeah, I have a feeling that all of us would be willing to participate in all things Overwatch.
We want to be our
such a blessing.
characters forever.
Yeah.
Anything they want to throw us into, we're down.
And I want to be as flexible as Symmetra.
Yes.
Well, thank you for making such a rich world come to life.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for your awesome cosplay.
Yes.
Did you guys see him out there as Reinhardt? That was amazing. It was just really hard to hug you without you.
Hi.
How was you originally approached by Blizzard to become the voice actors of Overwatch?
So Michael Chu knocked on my door in New York, and he's like, "Yo, no, I'm kidding."
This is the best story ever.
No, I mean, as actors, we just audition for stuff, you know. So I work with an agency in New York, and they needed someone who spoke with an accent like this, you know, and then who could speak some Mexican Spanish. And so I just literally auditioned, and then like 2 months later, they're like, "Yo, you remember that thing you auditioned for? You got it. We think she's a recurring character." We had no idea what it was. So it's based on auditions. From my specific situation, but so yeah, they just liked our voice and they felt like we embodied the characters the way they wanted, and that was that.
Pretty much the same story for me. A testament to technology and the beauty of technology is that I was actually traveling at the time, and when I got the audition message from my agents, I was about to head into what was about to be an all-night series of events leading into me getting on the plane. So I had to record my audition at 7 o'clock in the morning after being up all night right before I got on the plane on my cell phone. And then I
was it in a closet?
It wasn't in a closet.
Oh, that's good sound.
It's great
you know?
for sound to be in a closet. The only time I suggest staying in the closet.
Exactly.
But yeah, so it's a great testament to the fact that thanks to technology, we can kind of be anywhere and be a part of things. I mean, they cast Anna and recorded her from Egypt, you know. So yeah, auditions.
Hi.
Hi.
Like
Love
you
the
should.
Thank you.
Wow. Oh, hello! Whoa, 2 of us!
And were you dating Symmetra?
I feel like I'm drunk.
Is that you, Mama?
Yeah, she was in Symmetra yesterday.
Yeah, I believe so. I've seen 2 of me, it's weird. But, oh! They're like doing crazy things,
Guys,
guys.
this is
Sorry.
like being John Malkovich. Okay, go ahead with your question. I'm sorry.
Go.
So, what kind of toothpaste do you use?
I use Crest, guys. I started a week ago going pro with Crest Pro Health. I do a commercial for Crest. It was on air years ago, so thank you for asking. Oh my god! Amazing!
Look at that.
My actual question is,
Oh good, okay. I'm glad you had a question.
what would you say is like your favorite wine when you're a voice actress?
Well, we only record them a couple times, well, a lot of times, but then we move on. So it's not like I come back to another session and I'm like, oh, let me record my favorite line again. But I think I really like, the one that embodies Sombra for me, besides Apagando las Luces, is Relájate, I'm not going to kill you. Because she's like, it's like her being like, yo, relax, idiot, I'm not gonna kill you. She's like badass and funny and like chillax and, you know, I don't know, what's your favorite?
This is always like picking your favorite children. It's always so hard for me. I'm a big fan of You Will Not Infiltrate This. Partly because it's something that I would never say in real life. Because it seems so cruel. I'm more likely to say You Will Not Infiltrate This. But I also like Welcome to My Reality. I find that I like to use the voice lines in traffic a lot.
That's weird. I don't say mine on the subway.
I'm in LA, there's traffic, it's a thing. So when I'm trying to entertain myself, if I see a lane open, I'll be like, I have opened the mouth. Sometimes you gotta do things when you're stuck on the 5 freeway.
I might say I have started booping people. Just I know. Microphone, where are you? Over here.
I wanted to know if you could try to do Hanzo's ult at the top of your head.
Oh God, no, I'm terrible at that. If you need to, no. Try Hanzo's ult.
That's Hanzo's lane, yo.
Yeah.
I can't take this job from him. Apparently I can talk like that though. I don't know
Right, I don't know where that came from. Microphone, just wave wherever the mic is, because we get lost. We so many of you. Hello. Oh, nice hat.
Good evening.
Good evening. You should do voice work.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Totally.
Do you guys have any other hobbies besides voice acting?
Oh, heck yeah, we're human, you know? I do yoga every day.
She looks like she looks.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I go to the theater, I go to a lot of film screenings in New York. I do this thing that's a little bit 90s. It's called rollerblading in Central Park. Totally rollerblader.
Makes me so happy.
I hang out with friends, you know? Yeah, what about you?
Oh my god, I'm totally gonna come to New York and watch your film. That's fucking awesome. Just totally cursed.
No, sorry, guys. Overwatch.
It's a family show. Sorry, I always swear like a truck driver. I like to climb things. I'm an amateur rock climber. It does. And I'm gonna leave that right there. No, I used to be a pretty avid rock climber. And now my friend calls it parkour modeling, what I do, which is basically when I'm like dressed up in formal wear, I like to climb trees and buildings and take pictures in high heels.
Nice.
So
I do yoga in office outfits.
See, there you go. Like we're doing totally inappropriate things for the clothes we're wearing, which also sounds dirty. And I love to travel. I love traveling. And I love seeing live music. There's a lot of great live music in Los Angeles.
And New York.
And New York, and of course, theater. Lots and lots and lots of theater. I really love supporting fellow actors who are working on projects, particularly in the theater, because the theater is such a labor of love. So yeah, we actually do things outside of the booth.
We don't live in the booth, you know. Gotta get out. We get cabin fever.
Yeah, we get seasonal affective disorder.
So, the craziest or most embarrassing story?
In general, period?
Yes.
Not regarding Overwatch?
Yes.
Can't think of mine.
Oh, here's a good one, ish. I don't know how good it actually is, but it's short. The late, great Alan Rickman was a huge idol of mine, and I remember the first time the first and only time I met him, I saw him across a crowded room, and I was like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna say hello, and it's gonna be magical. And I went up to Alan Rickman, Professor Snape himself, and I attempted to speak the English language and could not.
What?
So if you are
Did you speak Hindi?
I just started going, hi Mr. Rickman, hi Mr. Rickman, my name's Anjali.
Were you on drugs?
My name's, no, surprisingly not. I was completely sober.
Surprisingly.
Mr. Rickman, my name's Anjali. I do this in another show across the street from Shakespeare theater. Yeah, exactly. I straight up, like, not only did I fangirl, I lost the ability to speak the English language. It was like I was on Quaaludes. So, and then you all know the Professor Snape look.
Yeah.
Sweet Alan Rickman was trying so hard to be gracious, but I could
Darling,
tell he
what
just
are
didn't.
you saying?
He just didn't. He was like, oh yes, I've been meaning to see your show. And he was so kind and generous, and then I finally was like, I'm gonna go lose my mind. I'm gonna go lose my mind.
But at least you talked to him, right?
Ish, if you can call that talking. So that was my short, most embarrassing story. My long one, you're all gonna need to take me out to a bar and get me really drunk to tell you that one.
That
was not an invitation, yo. I take that back. I rescind.
No, I just recently remembered I was so late for an audition, and it was at my agent's office. It was a voiceover audition, funny enough. And I'm running like a mofo because I'm gonna be there late, and they're gonna realize that I'm there late, and then they're gonna think that I'm not on time for any audition. So I'm running like crazy, and it's summer in New York, and I'm wearing a dress, and I've got these flip-flops on, and it gets stuck in one of those stupid like New York City, I don't know, sidewalk things, and I swear to God, I fall flat on my front. My dress hikes up to like the mid of my back, and I swear everybody just saw whatever they saw. And I looked up and I just was like, I gotta get to this audition. And I keep running, but they're all like, we just saw that chick's butt. Anyway, that was that. Oh, wardrobe malfunctions, they're embarrassing, yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, after a long day of recording in the studio, what is your guys' favorite thing to do?
Drink. No, you know what happens in my studio in New York, they always have this amazing spread of like crazy food. So I always like work my butt off for 4 hours, and then I stay a little bit longer and like totally mooch off of like whatever they're offering. So usually I just have to go to another gig or something, so it's not like I can just relax, but usually I just stuff my face, yeah.
They also always have this like magic table in the studio which has all of these potions and elixirs and drops and things that are good for your voice. And so I you know, enjoy those. That was a great story. I'm really glad I told it. Thanks guys.
These are fun questions.
Thank you.
Keep
Yeah,
them
your
coming.
questions are great.
It's fun.